Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to the market. We are back in the market tomorrow, but today is Sunday and I want to go through the catalyst for this week. I hope to give you as much content as I can to prepare you for what might be coming this week. So tune in and ready to go. Let's just first talk about what happened Friday. There's a lot of selling in the market. It's like, what the heck happened? And that was as a result of President Trump's tweet between him and China, President Xi. So let's take a quick listen to this little video, and then I want to comment on what that means for you if you're a long-term investor.
So Tyler, back up a little bit here and give us some context for this post.
Right, exactly, Scarlett. So in recent days, we actually have seen Beijing move to unveil some new export curbs when it comes to critical and rare earth minerals, expanding both the elements and the technology on its control list. It's also moved to require overseas exporters of items that have even trace amounts of Chinese-sourced critical minerals in them to apply for separate export licenses, and that is considered to be a pretty significant development in recent days. And we have to keep in mind here, of course, that China does have this grip on the global supply chain when it comes to rare earths. It accounted for about 70% of rare earth global supply last year alone. But this is really now casting doubt on what was expected to be a face-to-face meeting between the two leaders, President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping, in just a matter of weeks in South Korea. And while they had a lot on their agenda, the White House has repeatedly told us that at the top of the list, President Trump was going to prioritize talking to Xi Jinping about China's imports, or at this point, lack of imports of U.S. soybeans. They have not imported any so far this export season. And that is something that we are watching really closely because the administration is getting close to announcing some sort of economic aid package for our farmers. But perhaps could that be complicated now as we hear that President Trump is threatening these massive tariffs on China in retaliation over this? We're going to have to see what that materializes to, because Scarlett, right now there is a 30% baseline tariff rate against China that is set to be in place while this trade truce is in place. That goes until mid-November.
Okay, so that was the information here from the commentary with regards to the trade commentary about China. But I want to tell you, did the market overreact? I think they took advantage of that and took the market down. And so I want to read you this note this morning from Dan Ives from Wedbush. And he basically said Trump and Xi shots across the bow in AI, arms race, buy tech on sell-offs. And so that's basically what he's saying, buy the tech. So if you take a look here, he said tech stocks are under pressure today. And he's referring to what happened on Friday after Trump's Truth Social post threatening higher tariffs on China and potentially canceling the highly anticipated meeting with President Xi Jinping. This is all about China announcing its tightening of restrictions around rare earth effective December 1st. After a relatively calm few months and improving relations between the U.S. and China, this step up in tensions has created a white knuckle moment for the markets, with tech stocks under major pressure today, and specifically referring to Friday. As we've navigated this drama since April, we continue to believe the bark will likely be worse than the bite this time around as cooler heads prevail. This is all a game of high-stakes poker going on between the U.S. and China in this AI chips. These moments, we view them as buying opportunities to own the winners in semis and software, big tech, and the AI future, as in our view, these tensions will not bubble up in a much more intense time versus the nervous period of time we saw in April. That said, our view of tech stocks remains firmly bullish, but we will continue to have moments like this that will create some panic and nervousness amongst tech investors. And so that's obviously what happened Friday. We have barely scratched the surface of this fourth industrial revolution now playing out around the world, led by the big tech stalwarts like NVIDIA, Microsoft, the Messi of AI, Palantir, Meta, Alphabet, and Amazon. We believe tech stocks will be strong into year end and could end up another 7% into the rest of the year as the next part of this AI revolution takes hold with upcoming tech earnings season. Further swing investors, this is a 1996 moment, not a 1999 moment. We also believe that the latest investments by OpenAI into NVIDIA and AMD speak to the capacity build out and demand drivers happening on the enterprise front, which is now creating positive ripples for the second, the third, the fourth derivatives of the AI revolution, and speaks to the IVE's AI 30 list of tech winners. Sell-offs like today, we encourage investors to buy the tech winners and not head for the elevators despite this war of words between Trump and Xi Jinping. And let me tell you, I love this man. Dan Ives is amazing. I have to do a video all about Dan Ives because he is so knowledgeable and he is one of the best analysts out there that's not a Debbie Downer. He says it like it is. And let me tell you, when he says, do not head for the elevators despite this war of words between Trump and Xi Jinping, I have to say he's 1000% correct. So take advantage of this pullback. Don't be scared, especially if you're an investor. You are going to be so happy with this reset or pullback because it gives you an opportunity to dollar cost average or maybe take a starter in a stock, maybe that you've liked long term that you haven't been able to get into because you didn't like the price. So maybe you're happy with some of this pullback. So definitely take a closer look at some stocks. But let's talk about the catalysts for this week. Okay, so we have on Monday, we have an event here with both NVIDIA and Oracle. So let's talk about what's happening with NVIDIA. So we have NVIDIA has an event here in California. We have the VP of Hyperscale and High Performance Computing. His name's Ian Buck. Here he is right here. And you can see the schedule at a glance. It really starts Monday at 4:35, and they have a keynote little speaker, and that, which is him. And then obviously on Tuesday, we have some more events here, and then jam-packed Wednesday, Thursday. And there'll be a lot of keynote speakers. They're going to cover many things for the modern data center, the GPU architecture, the Grace CPU architecture, the NVIDIA MGX architecture, the Spectrum X Ethernet network platform. They're going to go through the NVIDIA, think NVIDIA inference. Look at this craziness of these AI tokens for compute surges. Full stack optimization is key if you're looking for an AI factory scale. We know Elon Musk has one. And then we have NVIDIA AI factories. Okay, and they talk about this. And this is really amazing. The NVIDIA GB300, the NVIDIA NVLink. I mean, talk about who is the AI leader. There's many, but he is the king of AI. So definitely this will be an interesting event. And I hope to hear some details from my news desk at the Trade Exchange. Moving on to my friends at Oracle. So Oracle has an event too called Oracle AI World. That's happening as well, starting on Monday. And you can get a free pass. You have to pay to the event to attend the event in person. But if you want to watch it remotely and you're interested in hearing even the recordings, you can go to the site here, oracle.com/AI world/on air, and you can click here to get a free pass. You will have to first create an Oracle account right here to register. You can register, get yourself a free account, and then you'll get access to the Oracle AI event. You'll also get to see Oracle live TV coverage, main stage keynote speakers. I know that Larry Ellison is going to be speaking. We're going to have two co-CEOs managing the business. We have Mike Cecilia and Clay Majork. They're going to share their vision for AI and the future. So you can hear the big announcements in person or virtually, no matter where you are. So definitely keep a watch here. You're going to hear about the latest Oracle innovations, also any expert content that's going to be happening, and obviously Oracle TV. They're going to give us exclusive interviews and live event coverage. So definitely, why not register free if you want to watch the recordings later? It's great content, and you don't have to pay to listen to it. You just have to invest your time. So definitely look at that. The keynotes here for the Oracle, I did say, obviously, Larry Ellison. And we have a whole list. They have all different kinds of, depending on your area of interest, throughout the day, jam-packed schedule. I suggest really you just go to the site, register, and check out what you want to listen to. Then we have Rocket Lab. They have also a launch. and they're going to be launching on Tuesday. They're going to be launching their Electron rocket. Now, this is interesting. So let me just share this here. So this is called the Owl New World, the mission name. The rocket's called the Electron, which I just mentioned. The launch date's October 14, and it's at 16:30 UTC time. And the payload is called Seventh Strikes. So this is really cool. So this is going to be the mission overview. And they talk about here that it's going to launch from their Rocket Lab launch complex in New Zealand during a launch window that opens on October 14th. And the mission's going to deploy the single Strike X or Strix satellite to 583 kilometers low Earth orbit to join this inspective SAR constellation. So a lot of people love this company, love the stock, longer term. People are invested in the stock. So definitely if you like to go into space stocks or anything like that, you might want to check this one out, RKLB. I'm just sharing with you at this time the event. And if you like the event and you're intrigued by the stock, obviously do some research. I'm amazed. Please do research on the stocks. I love this company, though. I think it's great. Then we have also coming up this week, we have Microsoft. Oh my gosh, they're going to end Windows 10 support. So let me show you this here. So they're going to end support for Windows 10 after October 14th. They will no longer give you free software updates from Windows, no technical assistance or any security fixes for Windows 10. So they're saying that your PC will still work, but you need to move to Windows 11 because they're saying that Windows 11 will have a modern and efficient experience designed to meet current demands for heightened security. So if I show you this here, you could see here for Windows 11, they're really all about the new security, especially in the era of AI. They want you to be more secure here. And so they have photo and movie editing. They're going to have touch pen voice. They're going to have a lot of new apps here. And so definitely they want you to migrate to Windows 11. So if you're not going to do it, I'm hearing that they will, even though they say they're not going to have any support, I am hearing that they will, but you will have to pay a fee for the next 12 months if you want any support on Windows 10. So again, make the move to Windows 11. I'm sure it's going to have a fresh new feel and make it more efficient, and you can learn how to use it as well. They have a lot of good content here to explain how it's going to work. So definitely take a look at that if you have Windows 10. Then we have on Wednesday, we have Dollar Tree has an event, but also CRM is going to have an event as well. And their event is in 2 days from now. So CRM has an event on Wednesday, October 15th. It's holding an Investors Day as part of their Dreamforce conference. So this event, CRM, you can register as well. It's in San Francisco. And they're going to have 2 stages, 2 unforgettable performances. By the way, they're going to have some rock bands performing. This is going to be amazing. They're going to have Metallica. And also they have another event as well with benefits for the Benioff Children's Hospital. So Benson Boone, this is just incredible. I wish I could be there because I'd love to see Metallica and I'd love to see Benson Boone. Love them both. Amazing rock bands. Well, Benson Boone, I don't know if you call him a rock band, but he's got a great voice. So anyhow, going back to this event, a little sidetrack there. CRM, register now. You can click here and register for the event. It's not free, but you can definitely go there. You have to buy a pass. So really at this time, all you can get right now is a full conference pass, $22.99. But you can get here the virtual. See, just like Oracle, you can register for free here for this. I don't think you'll see the rock band show for free, but you'll definitely get to hear some content for free. You can register right here. You'll have to register with your Google account or have a Salesforce account, Tableau or MuleSoft. I guess you can have other apps like Apple, LinkedIn to connect and register for free for the virtual content that they will be showcasing. So that's great to see that they have that as well, similar to Oracle. Then we have on Wednesday the Consumer Price Index Report, CPI. And then we have the Fed Governor talking at the AI event at the DC FinTech Week. And then the Federal Reserve going to release their beige book on Wednesday. Happy reading. Thursday, we have TSM going to give us their update. They have shareholder call conference for the earnings, and you can see here with TSM. I really like TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors, great company. So much to learn about them. And like I said, what I love about the market, you're always learning about different companies, different technology. But definitely, they're going to be reporting, and they're going to do the conference call. So they did give the revenue report October 9, but they're going to have the earnings conference and conference call. They gave a revenue report, and then here they're going to have the conference call as well. And you can register for that if you want to. They have an audio webcast, teleconference here as well. And they'll give all the information if you're interested in hearing more about TSM. And then we have on Friday, we have some more events here. We have the American Express earnings, and we have all dates, the last trading day before, of course, our favorite event, FOMC, which is next week. And then we have an all-day, 3-day TwitchCon event right here. Let me just show you here. This is 10 Years of Hope is what they're calling it. And what to expect. You're going to meet your favorite streamers, pro tips, meet your people, hang out with people, loot up. That's really cute. Immerse yourself and unlock wisdom. So going to be a lot of panel discussions here. It's going to be in San Diego. And they have another one coming up in Rotterdam, dates to be confirmed. But the one in San Diego is at the San Diego Convention Center. So there is a lot going on this week in California. So definitely gear up and head over to one of these events or register. You can get some, free content. And as you know, Amazon did purchase Twitch back in August 2014 for $970 million. So if you are interested in digital media or gaming or creator economy, definitely check out that event that I just showcased to you right now. And then last but not least, on Friday, we have the September housing starts coming out by the U.S. Census Bureau and the Department of Housing and Urban Development. I do want to just show you one last thing here. This is from Dan Ives, and he did a video or an interview on Yahoo Finance. I'm going to just play a small clip. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's almost 10 minutes, and I respect your time, but I will include the full video clip below in the details of this YouTube video. So if you want to watch it on your own, you're welcome to do that. But I just want to show you just a few minutes of content from our amazing Dan Ives.
What to watch is Dan Ives, Wedbush Securities Managing Director and Global Head of Technology Research. Dan, it's great to see you as always. So we're going into earnings season for these companies at a time where there is this debate about valuations. There is this debate about the so-called circular economy, how much they're all sort of spending on each other. What are you going to zero in on in these earnings reports?
Yeah, look, Joy, I'd say, the street's still massively underestimating what this tech cycle is going to look like. I think it's an AI super cycle. And I think this 3Q earnings is going to be much more of a validation moment in terms of not just for chips, but for software. And I think the broader build out, look, the bears in hibernation mood, they've missed the last 2.5 years. And they'll continue to miss this bull market that I think has another 2 years ahead of it.
The body scanner reveals the brutal truth about your body
these
that your
commercials.
regular scale will never tell you. For weeks,
It's interesting because I haven't talked to that many bears, right? The straight up bears are hard to find on this stuff. It's more the message that maybe you should start to diversify a little bit. It's not that you should sell necessarily, maybe take a little bit of profits and put it in some of the smaller companies in the space, put them outside of AI entirely, because maybe we're in a little bit of a breathing period here. What do you think of that argument, Ann?
Look, I get it. But my view is we're in the second inning of a 9-inning cycle. So, to peel away from an AI perspective, talk about people that peeled away from AMD over the last, a month ago, or Oracle 6 months ago, or NVDA a year ago. See, my whole point is the street's underestimating what this cycle is going to look like. And I think ultimately in the next 1-2 years, numbers are maybe 20-30% underestimated. And I think that's why 3Q earnings is just going to be more validation, showing the use cases are exploding.
At the same time, what do you make of like the report from the information about Oracle's margins and that they are just not making money on this stuff, or that they're, that it is the current calculus of the return on investment is very low in some of these projects?
Yeah, I view that as kind of noise. I mean, to be honest with you, and anytime that sells off on articles like that, you just buy it, in terms of Oracle, because I think ultimately, as this plays out from the government perspective and from enterprise, look, for the first time in 30 years, the U.S. is ahead of China when it comes to tech because of this AI revolution. And I think we're going to look out, and I think how we talk about things like NASDAQ 25,000 and 30,000, the whole time, the bears or the valuation focused investors, they're going to miss this run, just like they missed it the last few years, like they missed it the last decade. I view this as sort of a fourth industrial revolution. And I think Street is continuing to massively underestimate what demand looks like.
Dan, what would give you pause? I mean, I've been talking to you for a while. You've been bullish for a while. You've been right for a while, right? We've seen these stocks. They haven't gone up in a straight line, but they've obviously appreciated a lot. Is there anything that would change your mind, or if not change your mind, at least slow your roll a little bit?
Look, 3 million air miles the last 25 years, right? I see it around the world in terms of demand. A lot of the bears, they call this in the 25th floor of their office building in New York because they can't find it on the spreadsheets. So I think if I see demand soften, if I see the use cases not exploding, if I see ultimately the demand trajectory in terms of the second, third, fourth derivative, like our IVES AI 30, then you pause. But right now it's accelerating, and I think that's going to continue. Look, we're in year 3 of a 10-year cycle in terms of this build out.
Dan, we were just putting up on the screen that you're also, of course, the chairman of a company now called 8Co, which the ticker of that is orbs, because it makes these orbs that scan your retina. It's identity verification. You guys announced something new today, and I have to admit, I don't quite understand it. So can you explain to me this enterprise offering now on the part of 8Co?
Yeah, Julie, I mean, the reality is that as companies go down the AI path and you ultimately look at trillions being spent, you're going to need authentication, a single sign-on for companies to verify for their employees, for their partners, for anyone in their ecosystem. And what we're really announcing today is going down that authentication path. We're going to do a number of pilot partnerships, with many companies that have reached out to us, and that we hope over the coming months. And to me, it speaks to this is going to play a major infrastructure role in human proof. Because when you think about the AI future, robotics, bots, you're going to need human proof authentication. That's everything that we're doing at 8Co.
Dan, so sort of how exactly would this work? I mean, we just saw the footage of you when you rang the opening bell for that. You were holding the orb, right? Mm-hmm. Like, does everybody have one on their desks in the future? It seems a little bit cumbersome when right now I can just put my fingerprint on my computer or, use my eyes to open my phone. So how exactly do you envision that working?
Yeah, so over, almost 17.5 million have already signed up for this, in terms of, getting iris, getting your eyes scanned. And that is something that everyone individually has that. And that's in the orb. It basically disappears after 15 seconds, goes right into your phone, goes into your World app. And that's the verification. Because my view, and it's our view, that in the future, the Face ID, showing your driver's license, traditional forms of identification, that's not going to be in the AI world. That's not where it's going. And I think when it comes to human proof, and we think orbs and everything Sam Altman and Alex have built, that's why we're such believers that this is going to be the single sign-on in an AI future.
Dan, when you quit your day job, now you're chairman of this company that does this verification. What's the path forward look like for Dan Ives?
Look, it's another hat, right? I mean, I've just like my ETF and, a lot of the other initiatives. To me, it's as such a passionate believer in the AI revolution, from being a tech analyst to being chairman of ECO and Orbs, this is just this is the future. I mean, I now believe this is actually just the start of a fourth industrial revolution. To play a role in that is super exciting on both ends. And it's like me and you have talked for many years. This continues to be the biggest tech trend we've seen in the last 40, 50 years.
Dan, I want to ask you something else. And I ask you this as somebody who likes and respects you, and obviously we've talked for a long time. How is it not a conflict when you're at the head of a company or the chairman of a company that is doing this kind of work and also offering this investment research that, clients can trust you to be, unbiased is the word I was going to use. We know you're not unbiased. You love this stuff. You love the technology. You're very optimistic. But how do you sort of approach that when you are wearing those different hats?
It's totally separate, Julie. I mean, the work that I do as an analyst is totally separate from this. I mean, this is really, in terms of ECO, this is really focused on WorldCoin and everything that we've done with Sam Altman and Alex. And my belief that this is going to be the single sign in AI future. Really, it's a total separate role than my role at Wedbush, in terms of head of tech. And I think investors have really, they understand everything I do, just like my ETF. There's obviously a lot of things that, that I'm really focused on, but it all ties into the same theme. It's the AI revolution that, in my opinion, this is going to change the way consumers and enterprises, I think act going forward and transact.
Well, Dan, those Orbs shares are up 23% today. Not too shabby. It's great to see.
And also,
you.
I like your shirt. That's the next level.
This
shirt.
is an Ives kind of shirt, isn't it? I didn't even think about it.
That shirt. I mean, I might use that for the Ives clothing line, but Julie, that's next level.
I'll ping you and let you know where I got it from.
Okay.
Good to see you, man. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, everyone, that is it for the Sunday update. I actually played the whole thing because I just loved what Dan was saying and want to cut him off and put the link below. So everyone, have an amazing week this week in the market. You heard what he said. Those dips are viable with these great tech stocks. So take your pick, buy some dips if you like, if you're comfortable, and, do your research, of course, or talk to a licensed advisor, because you should know these are stellar companies, and earnings season's just starting, and this AI revolution is not going anywhere but up. So let your portfolio benefit as well. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. It's Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow in chat and on my space show tomorrow night with my pick of the week. Have a great day, everyone. God bless. See you soon.